Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's 27th of January, 2021. Coming up in the Crusty Canuck podcast. Yes, Virginia, good people might have to do bad things. My brief discussion on the evil that's lingering around the corner. All that and more coming up in the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay tuned.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on politics, social, economic issues, and life. Here's Crusty.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's only been 2 days since my last episode. Needless to say, I was just inspired last night and to basically just do a glorified rant for you all today. I was coming across some news footage and some stock footage in regards to the big reset, to trouble in the United States, to trouble what's going on in our country with the pandemic and everything else. And, well, it doesn't look too effing good. Just like to remind you all, too, that this podcast is not meant for kids. I do swear a lot, so listener discretion is advised. And if you do like and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, comment, give me a thumbs up and all that good stuff, and please share this around. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Gab, Telegram, Signal, and other media outlets that are yet going to be censored just as of yet. So as I said, evil. And I said, yes, Virginia, good people might have to do bad things. That's my take on yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. The 1974 family flick. But I'm not talking about Santa Claus here. I'm talking about what I think is coming around the corner. I'll leave links in the description, all that good stuff, and decide my listeners. But based on my personal experience, through my time in the military, to people I've worked with, worked for, to experiences I had before the military and after the military, this is my hypothesis. Violence is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody is going to get pushed the wrong way. Someone's going to do the wrong thing. Some people might do the wrong thing. I don't know exactly who or what or when. But as I dig into my soul, my very fiber of my being, it does not look promising. Now, I'm not going to sit here and promote doom or gloom. I'm not going to sit and go, oh, defend yourselves, dig holes, border up your windows. I just had a conversation with some decent human beings there today in regards to the political spectrum, social spectrum, and what's going on in our country as we see. And it's tough to say, because as much as I would hate the fact of any kind of civil war or any kind of civil declaration of sorts, I can see it creeping its head around the corner. We have politicians that want to sit and constantly squabble away funds for the sake of this pandemic, especially here in Canada. Now, I'm not talking about the States. I'm not talking about what's going on in Europe. I'm going to talk about Canada here, because I'm a Canadian. I love my country. I fought for my country, and I will keep fighting for my country. And with examples that we see in the United States, examples we see in Britain, in Germany, in France, especially in Italy, and what's going on in the Netherlands right now with all their riots. It's coming here too, folks. And I'm not enticing it. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not condoning it. But to any leaders out there listening right fucking now, a lot of this is going to be on you. Okay? A lot of you know-it-alls, a lot of you fucking degree holders and paper waivers stating you have all these qualifications to do all these wonderful fucking things, and you're instigating a lot of this. Okay? There's no accountability. And it's been proven. Regardless of where your loyalties lie, Canada, regardless of where your loyalties lie, whether it's Liberal, Conservative, NDP, Green, Libertarian, Rhinoceros, Les Blocs Québécois, or Wexit, or any other party for that matter, I'm going to include my VCP brothers in this too. We're not seeing any real concrete, deep, proper solutions. Okay? We have a government that's not taking responsibility for the vaccine debacle. Yet all these other countries are getting vaccines at record time, except for Canada. So what is going on internally with our system that is not allowing people to get the vaccines that they want. You've heard me say numerous times, ladies and gentlemen, here on the podcast about how there was no trials for vaccines. There are people in Norway dying from vaccines, and a couple of nurses in the States that have died from said vaccines, and yet no real clinical trials. But if people need them and they want them, should they have them? Well, of course. If it's going to stop any kind of pandemic, then sure. But still, the whole procurement issue has turned into nothing but a fucking nightmare. Okay? And everything in the mainstream media is beer bug and pandemic and all this COVID. Oh my God. And yet, what viable solutions are coming up? Now, I had a conversation with a guy named Critical Thinker. He's quite the intellect and quite an intelligent human being. And when we're talking about the pandemic, we know it's a farce. We're not denying the fact that disease is not real. Respiratory condition is not real. We're just getting sick and tired of the political grab and gab over it the whole time. All these fines, all these restrictions, all this bureaucratic bullshit. And now they want to keep enforcing the environmental issues too. And we're just, the only conclusion that we can come up with, and I made this point on the show too, Adam Danny Mosaic, Critical Thinker, Frank B. Vaughan, Gabriel, right? Violence is coming. I don't know how else to say it, you know? This is off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't write this and rehearse it or anything. This is just basically off the cuff. And all I can honestly say is we got to prepare ourselves, folks. Now, I'm not saying load up your ammo, and I'm not saying hold on to your guns for dear life. What I'm saying is to stand ready. Have food sources, have fuel sources, have alternative means of currency. But something is in the works, and it just doesn't feel good. Honestly. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to explain it, but there's something in my gut is telling me something is going to happen, and we've got to be ready for it. How we handle it will be our ultimate test. How we deal with it will be the ultimate test. But all this manufactured fear that we've been having rammed down our throats, all this manufactured what-ifs being rammed down our throats, all these tattletales, all these fines and tickets that are being handed out to people at random, people losing their jobs, people losing their minds, depression is sky high, opioid crisis is sky high. A couple of beautiful cities in this country that were once the hub of the oil production are now going to shit. And yet the fat cats in Ottawa and capitals alike are sitting around doing nothing. Right? Speculating, talking, speculating, talking. So we know who's on our side and who isn't. And I mean our side as the Canadian people that want to have prosperity and freedom and democracy with peace, freedom, and security. That's being compromised as we speak. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stand by to something. That's just my gut instinct telling you all. And as for the evil part, all these people making plans, i.e. Miss Patty Haydu and the pint-sized twat herself, Krista Freeland, talking about the Great Reset. What exactly is going to happen with this Great Reset? I'll leave a link in the description about that too. And I want you, my listeners, to read it and decide for yourselves. Why do we need a reset? For what? So a handful of fucking pseudo-demagogues can get their point across by capitalizing on more of the people that work for them? Capitalizing on economies that really they have no business touching? Which is it? What is lingering around that corner other than? Right? See, I'm not a believer in God or the devil. I don't expect you to, and to my listeners that they're happy to be Christian, well, I'm not shunning you for that. Every Canadian, as far as I know, has the right to believe and worship to bio the means and whatever they want to do. You know, I'm not condemning anybody who's religious, but I believe mankind can carry that seed of evil very well. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. From domestic situations to out in public to overseas in Afghanistan. I've seen many shapes of evil incarnate. And I don't want to saying it, but ladies and gentlemen, it's creeping its way here. It's creeping to every shop, to every bureaucracy, to every conglomerate of society as we see it. And I'm not trying to sound doom or gloom here, but there are people that want to hold us back from thriving. There are people that want to hold us back from from being alive to becoming successful. There are people holding us back from becoming successful entrepreneurs, successful inventors, successful laborers, successful contractors. And it's not looking good. Right? Talk about the environment. None of these people bring any solutions to the table on how to fix said environmental catastrophe except take more money and compromise people's livelihoods. When they talk about finding a means to stop this beer bug, they want to lock everything up and keep people under their thumb. How is that going to stop any sickness? Right? They've given money away to third world nations that don't deserve it. They've given opportunities away to other countries and other companies outside of this country, while mom and pop shops are being closed up and being regulated, as if a baby has to change its diaper, or regulated as such as a baby changing his diaper, and it's getting pathetic. Tell me what you think, CrustyBCanuck67@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on the Gab platform, and you can find me on Telegram. Please let me know. You can send me a comment here on YouTube and on Podbean, respectively. Don't forget to comment, share, and like. Give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And please click the bell for notifications when new content comes your way. Anyhow, I'll get back to that conversation I had with Adam Daniel-Mizet and Critical Thinker and Frank P. Vaughan. Check out the Hidden Gem live stream, too. Adam Daniel-Mizet does a wonderful job. All of us grown adults sit there and we have good conversations about life and the social spectrum and politics in this country as we see it. And it's refreshing to listen to like-minded individuals in regards to freedom, peace, and security, especially prosperity in these trying times. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't rehearsed this. This is just all on top of my head. These are thoughts coagulating, and I'm getting it out in the public, and I want you, my listeners, to come up with solutions too. I want peace, security, and freedom, and I want prosperity. I assume you want the same, right? And whether we think we can vote an individual into our parliamentary system that can do that for us, or we better start grabbing ourselves by the ankles and doing it ourselves. Because it looks like these clowns aren't doing it right. They have no concept of doing it right. Or they have the concept of doing it right, but they just don't want to do it. Because it's sooner line their own pockets and their own benefits rather than look after the benefits of people that have actually earned them, right? But that's just me. What do I know? Anyway, here's a word from my sponsors.
In October of 2015, Lindsay Robbins, like many of her fellow Canadians, was struggling with the turmoil of mental illness. The ups and downs of what she was going through was shaping her realities, and she longed for structure. As luck would have it, that structure presented itself to her in the form of gardening. And through gardening, Lindsay had an awakening that led her to create Produce for Heroes. Lindsay realized that our veterans were going through their own mental struggles, and through her own experience, she realized the power of community. By desiring to help the way that she had been helped, she has created a program that provides relief to veterans. Her food program, which aims to provide veterans and their families relief from the stresses of food insecurity and help alleviate the cost of living for those that have sacrificed so much for their country. Whether it's through directly contacting Produce for Heroes or through a friend's referral, all veterans and their families living in Canada are welcome. By shining a light on the struggle of veterans and their families, Lindsay is hoping to get her fellow Canadians to hop on board and support Produce for Heroes and our great veterans. If you or a veteran you know needs help, ProduceForHeroes.com is a great place to start.
This is Brian Boucher, the new CEO of Canuck Gold Corp. We have gold at 99% purity with discounts ranging from $100 up to $200 off the ounce. This is the right place to buy, from 2-gram cards to 400-ounce bricks. We have any quantity of gold you are looking for. We also sell by the ton, not like your ex-wife. Visit us today at canudgold.com, CANUND gold.com.
Yes, you can reach Brian and Lindsay and Scott there on my sponsorship section of the page. Please check them out. They're down-to-earth, blue-collar people. Just trying to make their way like everybody else, ladies and gentlemen. So please check out Canuck Gold and Produce for Heroes today. Anyway, carrying on with more of this evil. Yes, Virginia, good people might be forced to do bad things. Meaning that I would like to generally think that the majority of people that I've met in my life generally have good intentions. Okay? I'm not saying that everyone's pure and innocent and like spring magic and summertime rain. I'm saying people are generally good, meaning that you walk into a public place, there'll be the odd person that holds the door open for you, and you them. Or someone will say please and thank you. Like little things like that. You know, I'm not going to sit and have my have the winds of my sails taken away because there are some assholes out there, and we all know that. We all know those people out there who are rude and belligerent and full of shit and just downright fucking nasty. But there are generally, I would say, a majority of people out there that go to work, go to their business, and usually have good intentions, right? Minus the Carls and the Karens out there that have tattled on people over the past 6 months, or the other whiners and professional tattlers and professional victims. The ethic I was taught as a kid was to be resilient. Okay, you fall off the swing set, scrape your leg. Okay, I've been through this before, but you catch my drift. Handling certain things, handling stressful situations, making sure you get to work on time, paying your bills, getting this paid, making sure you pay this, do that. And if you have staff, you pay your staff, look after your staff, etc., etc. So basic resilience from day-to-day life, handling things. You know, I was never wrapped in bubble wrap as a kid. You know, if I spoke back to my parents, well, that's what happened to me. I got a cuff upside the head, and rightfully so. Right? You don't see that now anymore because that's child abuse. Right? You don't see teachers standing up to a teenage bully and telling them they better sort their shit out or else, right? Because that's deemed as abuse. So with the coming crisis, with the crisis we've had on now, how much resilience has endured? Okay? How much? A lot of people out of work. A lot of good people out of work. A lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, right? A lot of rage, a lot of upset, a lot of depression. Good people that were strong 1 minute are now down in their dumps, sticking needles in their fucking arms. For what? Because they're told there's no hope. Right? Buying what the media is telling them. Fear, live in constant fear. No. I've dealt with that fear. And I know people personally in my life who have overcome drug addictions, who've overcome that fear. And there's a few people in my life right now who talked about this fear shit, and we're getting through it. So you, my listeners in Canada and the United States, worldwide, whoever's tuning into this show, please do what we can to persevere. Do what we can to overcome this, but stand our ground. Okay? Let's not give in to the darkness. Let's keep promoting the light. Let's keep promoting common human courtesy. Common humanity. It's like I say at the end of my show, humanity merit wins the day. Why? Because when you're actually good to people and you merit for something, things happen for you, right? You show people kindness, not just for the sake of showing kindness because you think you're going to get a big reward out of it, just being kind, paying it forward, right? Simple gestures, opening up the door, saying thank you, please, and oh yes sir, no sir, thank you sir. Would you like this? Would you like a hand here? Would you like a hand there? I was doing some errands there today, and picked up some groceries. And as I stepped outside, I look, there's a pile of groceries sitting on the side there, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm thinking, okay, somebody's putting a cart away or somebody forgot him. So I stood up there and I watched him. And here comes this older gentleman, maybe about 70-ish, whatever, bit of a limp, had a hard time kind of walking straight. And I looked and said, sir, are these your groceries? I was, oh, yeah, they're mine. And I said, okay. I just kept an eye on for you, because they're there. This is some poor guy's food for a week, and I didn't want someone to rip it off on him. And he stood there and he says, oh, did you watch those for me? And I said, yeah, sir. Yeah, no problem. Oh, thank you. Let me give you something. And I'm like, no, that's unnecessary. No, it was unnecessary, So I stood there with him and, just chit-chat about the weather and everything, how cold it was. And he was just waiting for his cab. He was putting his cart away after he got his groceries and everything. So he was just waiting for his cab. So I stood there and I talked with him while he got to his car. And I said, would you like a hand with your groceries, sir? And he's like, oh, no, that's fine. I got this. Thank you for keeping an eye on him. And he just went on his merry way. So not to toot my own horn, ladies and gentlemen, not to sit there and brag about a subtle little action, but I want to say actions like that go a long way for some people. I'm not making false assumptions about that older gentleman. I gave myself the opportunity to give this guy a hand if he needed it. That's simple. And I encourage the rest of us to do that too, ladies and gentlemen. If you come across a situation like that where you might have to give someone a hand or help someone, just do it. Whether it's shoveling snow, giving a few bucks of cash, or helping someone out with a couple of liters of gasoline, helping someone get inside, helping someone stand up, or go out and buy an extra bag of groceries for those less fortunate. Little things like that, little acts of charity and kindness, Screw the SJW mandate, screw the Spectre mandate, screw politics just for one fucking minute and do what you can just to give some people a hand. Because if shit hits the fucking fan, we're going to need a lot of people to work together to find the common ground and to find that sense of community and respect. And if we're lucky, love of nation yet again. You've heard me ramble on too, ladies and gentlemen. I am a patriot. I love my country. I fought for this nation, and in a fucking New York minute, I will fight again, if need be. Okay? I'm not saying I'm going to grab all my guns, my sharp pointy sticks, my bows and arrows, and my steel-toe boots, and go out and kick ass and take fucking names. That's the last thing I want. But as I mentioned early in the episode too, that evil, that deep, dark, seated evil that we all carry just might rear its fucking ugly head. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. And neither should you. I'm not telling you what to think, folks, but I think we can all be in the consensus that something is creeping. Better be ready for it. Now, what say you? Reach me at crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook under the same name, Crusty Canuck. You can also find me on Gab and Telegram and Signal, respectively. Please click like and subscribe and share this stuff around. Let's get the word out. Let's just try to find common sense yet again. And if you get a chance, please check out the Fred Stockman podcast. Check out Frank P. Vaughn's channel, Adam Daniel Mezet, Critical Thinker, Jilly Davis, and, of course, myself. Let's get the words out there. Let's keep the critical thought going on. And just a reminder out there to all my listeners, too, I will be live tomorrow night via YouTube and Facebook using the StreamYard application. You can ask me all the questions you want. Just keep them clean, folks. Let's talk about the political spectrum, the national issues and social issues that are dragging us down today. So I will be live on YouTube and Facebook at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Of course, how's the East Coast or the West Coast? Shit, I get far behind. Yeah. So 5 o'clock Pacific, too. So 5 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Mountain, 5 o'clock Saskatchewan, and 8 o'clock Eastern. So please give me a shout. Tell me what's on your mind. Ask me anything you want to know. And I'll gladly do what I can to get an answer for you. But carrying on. More of this evil. I've just lost all interest in listening to what anything Patty Haydu has to say, or Christy Freeland, or even our beloved potato sock puppet, sock boy, fairy dancing, weirdo, Prime Minister Pert Plus himself. I really don't have any respect for him anymore. I don't, because he's taken the liberal brand and turned it into a real shit show. And there's nothing liberal, as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen, about the Liberal Party anymore, based on Justin's actions. Right? Promoting the debt, promoting spending, then promoting higher taxes for the sake of the greater good. And yet what's going to be great about the good of an extra 40 cents a liter or an extra $22 a gallon, however you want to measure it. Right? More taxes to stop the so-called climate emergency, and yet what innovations have been laid on the table to help us figure out what is good? What great pieces of green technology have been brought forth to help us understand, to help us transition from the so-called demon of fossil fuels to the great green machine they call progress? Okay? What's been brought to our attention? Absolutely fucking nothing, other than half-assed wind power that can't be recycled. Because when you take down the wind turbines, what good is those materials? Right? What kind of incentive are they giving people? So it's up to us, folks, to find our own incentive, to find our own innovations. Right? Let's not worry about government permissions. Let's create our own permissions. Right? Let's create our own ideas and stick with them and stand our ground. Right? Let's try to keep some sanity still alive in these uncertain times. Let's try to be productive and positive to the best of our abilities, but know when to stand our ground when the time comes. Because I don't want to see any more of this. I want to see more sunshine. I want to see people out working. I want to hear kids laughing, kids playing. I want to see people enjoying each other's company. I want to see amusement parks open again. I want to see beaches open again. I want to see restaurants and stores open again. And if it means we have to wear a mask going to them, well, so be it. But keep the fucking stores open nonetheless. Okay? Let people go about their own business and let them thrive by their own means, by their own rules, not what some conglomerate says we should do, or some bald, rich Swiss bastard telling us what to do, or some pint-sized twat or pint-sized douche telling us where to spend our fucking money. Let us call the shots and make the rules for ourselves. And let's keep loving our country and keep doing what we can to find light in this darkness. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Crusty Canuck on this 27th of January. Pardon my swearing, but that's all part of my brand. But more people get out there and speak their fucking minds, and rightfully so. Like I say, I'll be live tomorrow night on the 28th, so please check out my show, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, right? YouTube and Facebook, respectively. And please send me an email, crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. And you can also write me a letter if you'd like to. I'll leave my actual writing address in the description for you to decide. So if you want to write a letter, please do. Send me some swagger, a nice card. It's nice to get mail other than government reminders and bills. So please take advantage of that. And please don't be shy to speak your mind, folks. Please send me an email if you can. Reach out to me. See what we can do. If need be, well, go out and harass your local MP or MPP or MLA. Tell them what you fucking really feel. Get on them. Get them working for us like they should. But in the same sense, stand your ground nonetheless. Like I say, folks, look after your friends and your loved ones. Let's do what we can for each other. Try to keep that sense of community and camaraderie alive, Try to find your own good. Try to find your own worth. And just remember, though, you are worth something. Every business is essential. Every person, lives matter. Every person in this country. So we shall persevere. We will overcome this, and we will stand high and stand proud. Like I say, I'm Crusty Canuck, ladies and gentlemen. Look after your friends and your loved ones. And remember, humanity merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here.